My name is Trisha Springstead. I'm a registered nurse.
And my bottom line in this whole situation is that if we don't take care of these people, and if we don't bioremediate the mess we have right now, we're going to lose a lot of people.
Right. Now, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
There is a bacteria that was allegedly put into the Gulf.
Cynthia.
Yes. I don't know if it's Cynthia, but it's a genetically modified bacteria that Alcanavirax or something that they put in to eat the oil. Okay. Now, if you bioremediate with another microbe,
Right.
what kind of toxic mess could we wind up with, or Franken mess?
Well, then, see, that's the studies that we're doing right now.
Okay.
The studies that we've been doing with Steve Pedicchio of OSEI, it's an enzyme.
Okay.
It's more enzymes to clarify the water.
Okay, but is it going to eat the correct? Because the way I had this explained to me at one of the forums is that genetically modified bacteria can only eat certain things.
Right,
but
right.
it can't eat like the correct.
Well, there are
a different kind of molecule.
Right. There are two things. There are actually 3 bioremediative companies on the market that are doing testing right now, and that are in DC. That one of them in particular is OSEI 2. Then there's Bioremediation Inc. that I've worked with their stuff, and there's another company. And actually, I think that if they would all work together, and then test the water after. I think they were. And I'll find out from Steve. I think it takes 28 days. If we do subsurface bioremediation, 28 days to get the water back to oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay. With the BioRem 2000, if we could do just the marshlands with the BioRem 2000, we could bioremediate that in I'm not sure. I think it's probably about 20 days. If we could get deep down and we could bioremediate that, but it needs, I know OSEI 2 is highly tested, and it is on the EPA list. It has been there for a long time, and they have cleaned up oil spills for 30 years. So next we're looking at the BioRem with Bioremediation Incorporated, and so see what the
because you understand where I'm coming.
Everybody, I get it.
It's like God, you want to put something else in
here?
there?
We've got Frankenscience on top of Frankenscience. It's like Monsanto and the GMOs, and now let's GMO the salmon. But what happens if we want to re-GMO the salmon and we want to put something else in to bioremediate it? What are we going to get?
Exactly.
Are we going to get a 3-headed GMO salmon?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, I've got this stuff on my legs. Is it a bacteria?
Right.
We don't know what it is.
That's right. That's right.
And so kind of the bioremediation thing is kind of frightening me.
Right.
Because it's never been done before, but neither has this.
Yeah.
This is like the biggest.
Well, there actually has bioremediation has been done in other countries on oil spills, and it did a really good job. But you have to be really careful about what you're bioremediating with. Right. And you don't, but they have been proven, some of them have been proven, long-term studies to be great, and they get, things begin to come back. Right. But we don't, I get it, we don't want 3-headed turtles.
And we don't want some kind of bacteria growing out of the microbes that could kill us all off, like that.
That's right.
And so, that's why I've been kind of very hesitant.
Right. And also the EPA should have studied all those things way before this bill.
The EPA also allowed Corexit to be sprayed all over us.
Which was outlawed in 13 countries.
Exactly.
Including England.
So I trust the FDA and the EPA and the USDA about this much, because
and I'm not really trusting the CDC and the Health and Human Services and the.
I have never seen such a bureaucratic system in my. I mean, it's just all a bunch of bureaucrats.
It's a nightmare.
Shaking each other's hand, patting each other on the back. Hey,
good job, good cover up.
Yep,
good cover up.
Yep, and because they are doing nothing. They are doing nothing. And they were there in Mobile, I think, for a dog and pony show because Lisa Jackson had been handed so many VOC tests over the months with the EPA Restoration Task Force that she felt like, well, maybe I better get them down here. You know, and it was more...
Oh, she was just in Florida doing the same thing.
Oh, I know.
She and Rick Scott...
Oh, I know.
Did a photo op, and they were both gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, get to work, eat
Yeah.
fish.
And where is our Surgeon General in all this? You know, she's actually from Bayou La Battery here in Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay, she was wonderful, I guess, during Katrina, set up all these clinics and everything else.
Yep. I called Kathleen Salibas's office.
Okay.
Do you think that I could get through to her?
No.
No. I called Pam Bondi.
Mm-hmm.
I've called Rick Scott's office. I've written letters. I've called our legislators. I make calls every day. And do you think, and no wonder people get upset.
Well,
That's why I think
I
that...
quit writing to Sessions and Shelby and Bonner because I was writing them, in fact, the end of May, beginning of June, or no, it wasn't May, March and April, the end of March and April, I got 2 letters back from Mr. Bonner, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm very adamant that that when we do ever see any fines,
Mhm.
okay, that it comes back to the Gulf. And
Right.
it has to. It
Right.
cannot go into Central Treasury.
And it's people.
Yes. It cannot go into the federal treasury and be dispersed for roads and pet projects of the politicians. And so, I mean, I was getting almost to the point on a first name basis with Congressman Bonner because, you know, I kept writing to him. And what do? They turn around when we had the bill for the big oil to pay their taxes, their share of taxes, and they voted for the oil
They
companies.
let them slide.
Yep, they voted for the...
And
So,
those taxes could have gone to helping the people that are currently sick and
Right.
bioremediating,
right,
cleaning up the mess.
right. And
You
it's
know,
just...
and if they think cleaning up this mess is going to be an overnight job,
Mm-mm.
it's not going to be. Because now you've got funky algae growing out there. You don't even know what's growing out there right now.
Right.
And so, yeah, I totally agree with you. And I think that there's been a disconnect. And I think that we have a few heroes out there,
Oh, yeah,
but we don't have enough heroes.
absolutely.
And that's what this country needs.
And it seems like our Gulf Coast politicians are the worst ones,
They're terrible.
okay? They're in bed with big oil,
That's right.
all of them.
That's right.
From Sessions and Shelby to Governor Bentley. You know, Governor Bentley's a good dermatologist. Maybe I should go see him.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm at a point where they don't know, the regular doctors don't know what's wrong.
Right.
I've had my legs biopsied even.
Right.
Okay, it's not cancer.
Comes back nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be psoriatic. It might be bacterial. We don't know what it is. Here, take some more steroids.
And I'm looking at it, and it really does look to be like toxicity.
Yeah.
Just toxicity. So what do? Don't be putting all these chemicals on these toxic people.
Right.
And if they have breathing problems, you know, rule out bacterial, but don't ever forget to rule out chemical pneumonitis.
Right.
They're bleeding. I mean, they're having GI bleeds, headaches. This is all chemical toxicity. So I think if people would take the time to take an environmental medicine course,
Right.
they're offering them all the time in Atlanta.
Right.
I think the only state that doesn't even recognize environmental medicine is New York.
Okay.
So, you know, and pay for this.
Right.
Pay for these people.
Right, because our insurance is not covering
No,
any
it
of
will
this.
not, because it doesn't believe in it, because
Right.
it doesn't tie
Well,
into the...
it doesn't work with the system.
It doesn't work with the system, and it doesn't tie into the chemical or to the pharmaceutical corporations.
Right.
And it ties more into alternative and complementary medicine.
Right.
That's why I think Health and Human Services should just back out
Yep.
and let alternative and complementary people do the work.
Right.
You know, hyperbaric oxygen chambers, People need oxygen, and it seems to help people.
One of the things that was recommended to me on top of possibly doing the DMPS is the hydro stations at Planet Beach, and they are basically an infrared sauna, but they put you in this cocoon and they mist you, so you sweat.
Right.
Because you're only going to get rid of the toxins from what I'm told 3 ways. Okay, you're going to urinate it out. It's going to come through your bowel movements, or you're going to sweat it out.
Sweat out of your skin.
Yep.
That's why God gave us holes.
Yep.
And
exactly.
pores.
Yes. Exactly.
Or you're going to cough it out.
Right.
You know?
Exhale it.
Yeah, you're going to exhale it. So yeah, I totally agree.
But what I'm kind of seeing through all my friends and everybody I know that's sick is we're past the acute stage now. We're into a chronic, a long-term illness.
Right.
And I mean, all I worry about right now for myself is that I can keep the levels of my immune system going where it doesn't progress any further, that I don't get the respiratory symptoms, that I don't get, you know, the lesions on the brain and the different seizures and things that have been happening to people.
We're going to be interviewing, I'm hoping that we'll be able to interview Captain Lori.
Okay.
And there's numerous other people, but I think something that if you could say anything to all of these divided. I'm seeing so much division between these organizations. There's so much infighting going on over who's going to get this and who's the money and who's this and who's that. You know, what would you say? What would be your advice to all these 501c3s and all these people? Give them some advice.
Okay.
I'm not.
Y'all got to come together. Okay. We need help, and you all have to put the egos aside. You have to put all the star activism aside, and we just all have to work together. There is no Louisiana Gulf Coast. There is no Mississippi. There is no Alabama. There is no Florida. We are the Gulf Coast. And until we're working together and interceding for one another all across this coast and becoming one voice, united, we're all lost in the water. And that's about all I can say.
And that's coming from somebody that's been through it. I've been saying the same thing. I'm not the enemy. I'm an advocate.
Absolutely.
And I
have been from Grand Isle to Sanibel Island, and
I'm sick of the fighting.
Yeah.
I'm sick of the that was my study. I'm sick of that was my thing. I'm sick of I raised that money.
It's our coast.
Right.
We are the people of the Gulf Coast.
That's
one people. And it has to be that way.
And our goal cannot be 3 separate forms by 3 separate people, or 3 separate this by 3 separate groups, or it's my money, or people on the take, or people stealing money from these foundations.
Right.
It can't happen anymore.
No,
because I've been sitting back now for over a year watching this. And I refuse. I flat refuse to go with any organization. We're working with Linda Levad.
Yeah, I know who she is.
She's excellent. I've got attorneys that are coming out of Hawaii, environmental attorneys that want to teach us how to get rid of the people that are not good,
right? That
are environmental attorneys. We've got people all over the world ready to help us, and I want one coalition, one united front.
From the comfort of a dreamer's bed and the safety of my own head, when I'm speaking on the future where other people fought and fled, the kid I was when I first left home was looking for his freedom and a life of his own, but the freedom that he found wasn't what I see, but the truth was known. I am praying for America. morning's early light. By all I know is right. We're gonna reap what we have sown.